Everyone, welcome to Anu's Corner, and I'm so glad you joined me today. I was going to talk about the three palettes that I picked up from Wet n Wild. I have two of their larger palettes and one of their quads, and I was just going to give you my initial thoughts. And if you want to see a look with any of these, please leave your comments below, and I will be more than happy to do that. Since you probably have seen a lot of swatches of many of these palettes, I thought I would just kind of talk to you generally about the palette, what my thoughts were, and what some of my favorite shades are that work for my skin tone. Because one of the challenges that I've had with products is there are so many YouTube videos that I watch, but very few cater to my skin tone. So I really want to test these out on my skin tone and give you, some honest feedback. So the first one that I picked up and I'm going to talk about is this called Not a Basic Peach. What I do like about these palettes is that they have these day and night look instruction guides at the back, and they tell you by the number how to get that look. So I thought that was really, really good for beginners. People are just getting into, eyeshadows and how to blend them and how to kind of make colors work. I think that's a great idea. So this is what the palette looks like. Now, I have worked with all of these shades. I think the only shade that, and I was just going to swatch a couple of the problem ones for you. This transition shade on top, it's quite chalky, as you can tell. But because it's a transition shade, and once you blend it, it's fine. That is a little chalky from the whole palette. The blue, I was pleasantly surprised that actually showed up on my skin. It's not a very, in your face kind of blue, so that's why it's really wearable. And of course, these metallic looking eyeshadows, I was really interested in the color. This particular one is actually quite chunky. So, in fact, I'm going to do it right here so you can kind of see. You can see pieces of glitter in there. So that, once you apply it, now I like glitter, so it's not a problem for me, but I do know some people don't really like, glittery eyeshadow. So that's one thing that you just need to be aware of. So that's Not a Basic Peach. The next one, and everybody's favorite, and everyone has been raving about this on YouTube, is this one called Rosie in the Air. And it is a dupe of the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have that palette, and I have to say the shades are really, really close. I mean, I would say some of them are exact dupes in terms of shade. In terms of quality, you are getting what you paid for. But Wet n Wild eyeshadows have, some of the best quality for in the drugstore. So, I have no issues with the quality of these palettes. Some of my favorite shades, this really burgundy red, really gorgeous. That's one of my favorites, even in the modern Renaissance palette. This one is kind of like a purpley shade. It's pretty good. Now these are really pigmented, and I just, it's just like one swipe, as you can see. So those are a couple that I really, really like. I'm just going to swatch these transition shades for you. They still show up on my skin. These two are the transition shades. So they still show up. And I'm good with that. Some of the challenges I have with palettes is the transition shades are too light. And the last one that I have is called Hooked on Vinyl. And of course, also this has the instruction guide at the back on how to get that look. And I've actually used that instruction guide. Really simple to use. Now, I was a little disappointed with the transition shade on this palette. It is chalky. So not a big fan of that. Let's see. This was a brow bone shade, pretty good. But my favorite that really I was hooked on this palette was this green shade. I mean, did you see that pigmentation? That green just looks so good on dark, and brown eyes. Just gorgeous. That was the whole reason I bought this palette. And then I have that gold shade there. So, paired with that's like a really, really beautiful combination. So I've used this a couple of times. Now, if you guys want to see looks with any of these palettes, leave your comment below and I would love to do that. Overall, I think these palettes are great value. They're easily available. They're not limited edition anywhere. I really like that. There are a lot more palettes in this collection, but these were the shades that I gravitate towards. So I thought I would give you my thoughts on that. Well, thank you for watching. Subscribe and like this video if you do, and if this kind of content is of interest to you. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.